Hi and welcome to Foodies TV, the place where you can find the best reviews from the best restaurants in the world. At Foodies we started a web series called 3-Star Stories, where we follow the small group of elite restaurants who have 3 Michelin stars. Out of hundreds of thousands of restaurants, only a handful of them have those coveted 3 stars. In today's episode of 3-Star Stories, we have asked Andy Hayler, the only man who's eaten in all 3-star restaurants in the world, to rank the best restaurants he's eaten in the USA. And here's what he had to say.
Thanks, Leah. So, my top 3 American restaurants in my opinion. First would be Manresa in California. This is based in Silicon Valley in a place called Los Gatos, and the chef is David Kinch, who, particularly by the standards of the US, is a particularly product-driven chef. Takes a lot of care of his ingredients. So you have a very elaborate tasting menu based on flawless produce. The next restaurant I'd like to mention is 11 Madison Park in New York. Unusual because it actually has a Swiss chef, Daniel Humm, and the restaurant continuously reinvents its menus, doing very, very different styles. It also has probably some of the most flawless service you'll ever encounter. And the next restaurant I would like to select is Alinea in Chicago. Now, Grant Achatz is the chef there and has built up a global reputation for his extremely inventive modernist cuisine. Something I'm not normally a huge fan of. I'm a big classical guy myself, but in the meals I've had at Alinea, I've been genuinely impressed by just how beautiful tasting the food is, and although it's inventive, it's not gimmicky. So I would like to mention 2 more special restaurants which are not in the Michelin, because Michelin actually doesn't cover all of the US, it just covers certain cities. First of these is a restaurant called Blue Hill at Stone Barns. The chef is a guy called Dan Barber, and this is in upstate New York. The thing that's particularly different about this restaurant is what has been termed sort of farm-to-table approach. So unlike just buying things in from suppliers, here the majority of the things that appear on the plate have actually been grown either on the farm or by the nearby farms. And the degree to which it's sort of sustainable and also traceable is remarkable. So you get a butter dish there, and they'll say, this butter was made from this particular cow, you know, this is Daisy's butter. You know, so it's a place which is heavily oriented around vegetarian food, although they do other things as well. But it's something where there's an unusual emphasis on vegetarian product quality, which is quite rare in the US in my experience. The other restaurant is several hours north of New York, and it's deep in the woods. It's almost in a cabin in the woods, but unlike the movie Cabin in the Woods, the diners actually get to live. Or at least I did anyway. Now this restaurant's unusual because the chef there, Damon Beryl, which is the name of the restaurant as well, is actually the only person operating in the kitchen. So it doesn't have a team of chefs, and he grows absolutely everything on the property, with the exception of some seafood which he brings in from nearby. Now this makes it very difficult because you have to make all kinds of alternatives to things like sugar, which you can't use. So he's had to invent various alternatives to that. He's had to invent oils. He's had to invent a whole series of techniques. So very, very hyper-local food. And despite the fact he's doing it on his own, the standard of the food is actually really terrific. And he's quite a showman, so it's quite a fun, very lengthy evening. I think we got there about 5 o'clock and left after midnight.
Wow, Michelin people, I hope you had a chance to watch this video. So get a plane and go visit these restaurants today. Looking to see more great dishes from the best Michelin restaurants in the world? Well, check out our videos and learn about the best dishes of the year, the most bizarre dishes, and check our special video with Andy's tips on how to get a Michelin star. Enjoy.